mentioned in addition that this is not a solo journey that's being taken. The journey of life, the journey of school, the journey of work, just the journey of kind of creating an environment where a contribution can lead to the impact of other people. And throughout experience, there will definitely be times where perhaps new doors will open up to you. You'll be able to see more people and open up more avenues for different different aspects, different cultures, and in particularly different people who perhaps you may even want to bond with in life. Now, the thing about us as people, this isn't anything new, but we're different. We all have different beliefs. We all have different systems. We have different upbringings. We're born at different times at different places. Doesn't matter if you're twins. Doesn't matter if you have an identical birthday. There's a standard that you need when you are approaching difference. And commonly, I would say that standard involves having mutual terms and a level of mutual respect. And if that level of mutual respect cannot be established, then there's a difference at hand, which is probably too grand at scale to deal with. And I mention this because many times you'll find between your connections, your relations, your friends, your family, everybody wants to have their way. And when you have that much dominance, when you have those self-proclaimed dominant figures in society trying to impose their system and their ideals to drive and motivate your life, it won't work. Just by science, nobody's going in the same direction as you. So that level of mutual respect is very important. And this is the problem that I find within many people. And you know what, to be fair, myself included, that ability to accept the fact that they will not think, experience, or be in life the same way I have, in the same sense that, to be fair, I can't experience life the same way they do. It does bring a level of concern, because it's either my way or their way, or should I say, it's either they go through with the objective. But the problem here that we have when you kind of surrender yourself is you are making yourself vulnerable and you are putting yourself at a significant risk. And this is the issue that you'll find yourself probably running into when you're trying to establish those social connections. If you cannot be yourself, if you cannot be accepted, your best bet is to just honestly leave, move on. If you have simple standards outside of your own ego, outside of your own, because listen, like I told you, we're regular people. I have ego, family has ego, friends have ego, co-workers have ego. People who have higher social class than you certainly have ego and audacity to prove that on a regular basis. The problem is when you have compromised so much and you do not feel like your ROI, which doesn't always have to be money, and when I say ROI, I mean return on investment. It doesn't always have to be financial, but when it's compromising your emotional well-being and your overall ability to function on a ethical level, you'll find you'll run into this situation a lot just when two opposing forces meet. And this is the reality that a lot of people do not face. Everything that they see is taken for what's on the surface, right? There is never going to be a time where you feel that, oh, everything is just going to be smooth sailing. Because again, I'm going to be real. It will not be smooth sailing when it comes to having social connections in your life. However, there are ways to work around that. And if you cannot actually speak those terms, then there will be a problem. Because listen, everybody has the opportunity to learn. We're all learning every day. If I knew everything, I guarantee you I would probably, I would be in a better place. But the truth is, we don't know everything. Give somebody the opportunity to learn. If that person refuses to, let's say, comprehend your perspective, then your answer is clear and set right there. And this is part of the reason you'll see a lot of social environments failing. People only really want what's best for them at the end of the day. Especially, I think particularly in this generation as well, everybody wants to make a statement. They want to prove something. 90% of the time, they want to prove something because they want to at least feel or present that they are better than you. Whereas, and you have to believe me, because I'm in a highly accredited program, as some have drawn the conclusion. People who are out there achieving their goals, they are not concerned about what the world thinks because they know in reality nobody really cares. And you don't really comprehend that until you've actually seen an economy from a bird's eye view. And this is the advantage, I would say, that people who immigrate have, right? You're flying in to the country. So before you land, you've already seen you've seen the territory. You kind of gain a sense of what you're getting yourself into. Whereas people who are born in that country, I would say, have a very minimalistic view. And because of that minimalistic view, you'll find that they are always trying to validate themselves through cars, through showing off. You don't really have to, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but at the same time, you can't really take somebody for their cover. And that's not what I'm doing. I don't ever take people for their cover or where they come from or who they are. That's none of my business personally, and that's not in anybody's control. What I tend to do is I try my best to assess the reality, the facts, right? What is your social ideal? What is your political ideal? And what is your overall ideal on people who are not yourself?